In today's video, I'm going to take you on to the practice range, actually the chipping green, where I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite short game drills to help lower your handicap. This is something that works for me, and it has a pretty immediate impact to your game if you do it a couple of times before your next round. So let's just get right into it. Also, tap a like for the new mics. Hopefully it made the audio quality a lot better. I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, it's super hot. It's about 99 degrees out right now. So we have an empty driving range, but super hot. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're on to the chipping green right now. And again, I'm showing you this short game drill that I do religiously, pretty much once or twice a week for about 30 minutes each. And it really helps clean up the weaker areas of my game. So in golf, a lot of the times, especially when we're amateurs and we're missing a lot of greens, you'll be giving yourself, 8 to 10 up and down opportunities per round or more. And if you're following good course strategy and you're leaving yourself good misses, like if we're hypothetically going to this flag right here, it's about 15 yards away, would have a perfect lie, plenty of green to work with. But time after time, I see just tons of higher handicaps and even lower handicaps just, come up to what should be a pretty simple up and down like this. And, just kind of feel it out. That was actually pretty good. But maybe if they didn't hit it pretty decent. But, they'll maybe hit a shot like that and then leave themselves another, 12 to 15 feet for that par. When in reality, when we give ourselves shots like this, we should be getting this up and down more often than not. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that we have good chipping technique. So for this kind of basic chip and run, I like to keep my feet pretty close together, weight mostly on my left side, not to where we're like leaning this way, but we're standing straight up. Just kind of feel like most of the weight's on that left foot. I like to stand pretty close to the ball, have it a little bit toe down, and just bringing that club straight back and straight forward. Grip pressure is pretty light. If squeezing the club really hard is like a 10 out of 10, and leaving it dangling is like a 0, we're probably at about a 3 for this kind of technique. So holding the club pretty delicately, but still have a little bit of grip on it. The main goal of this drill is, if you see, we have a bunch of tees set up. This one's about 5 yards away, 7 yards from our hitting zone, 9, 11, all the way up to about 19 or 20 yards. And we're actually working on calling our shot and carrying the ball to a specific distance. So if I'm going to that third tee out there, that's about 9 yards. I want to be able to come up here, pick that landing spot, and hit an accurate chip to there. So that one was pretty good. And then we're also taking note of how far it rolls out. So broke a little bit to the left, but it rolled out about another 4 yards. We're a little bit uphill, which is gonna affect it, but we can also do this drill coming back down the hill and take note of both sides. And we're just working on giving ourselves a reference and a system. If we know how far we can carry each chip and how far it's rolling out, then we should be able to come up to a simple up and down like this. Say that the flag is about 14 yards away. I could pick that little 9-yard carry shot knowing it's gonna roll out to about that distance or just short. 9 yards. That one actually got a little bit away from me, but it felt pretty good. Even if you don't hit it to your intended distance, still pay attention to how far it's rolling out. So if we're trying to hit it to 11 yards, but accidentally hit it to 7 yards, if you hit a good chip, keep paying attention to how far it rolls out. And we're developing a system, almost like a chipping matrix, that's going to help give us more feel around the greens. Feel is definitely a part of the short game and golf in general, but I do feel like a lot of amateurs use feel as a bit of an excuse to where they'll come up to an easy chip like this, kind of look at the flag, say, all right, I'm going to feel this out, and then hit a shot and leave themselves that 8 to 10 footer for par. To me, in my opinion, feel comes from having a point of reference, knowing how far you can hit certain shots on command, then coming up to a shot and being like, okay, this shot kind of feels like the right one. Let me put a little bit more on it or a little off it. And that kind of helps you develop feel around the green. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, we're basically trying to call our shot and just kind of be able to carry to these certain distances on command. And then again, we're still paying attention to how far they roll out. So this time I'm just gonna hit this first one right here, the 5-yarder. It's a little delicate one. So that one was just a little bit short of it, but not bad. Then we'll try to go out to the 11-yard one. Kind of in between 9 and 11 right there. We're still paying attention to how far it rolls out. Another tip is to have a point of reference for how far these chips are going to go. work out what your basic chip distance is from the club being just parallel with the ground. So when I'm making a chip and the club is just parallel with the ground, that's kind of my stock 11-yard chip. So if I know I need to hit it 9 or 7 yards, I pick points what I feel like is below parallel, and I kind of work my system out from there. Same thing if I have to hit a 13 or a 15-yard chip, I'll just pick little spots above parallel. It sounds kind of goofy working out like your carry numbers for such short shots, but it's seriously affected my game. I used to be one of those players that just kind of felt it out, and I would consistently be looking at my up and down stats on my scorecard, and it'd be like, 1 for 10, 2 for 11, 1 for 8. So now my main goal is to try to get up and down from these simple shots the majority of the time. Now, if I was short-sighted or in a bunker or left myself a really difficult lie, then obviously par might not be the most realistic score, and bogey isn't a bad outcome. But for this kind of shot with a perfect lie, lots of green to work with, not much slope in the green, we should be able to get this up and down a good amount of the time. So again, we're getting information about it. We could do the same thing coming back, and I actually like to write down these carry numbers and how far they roll out. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this, guys. Hopefully the cars weren't too much. There's some wind and cars coming by, but we got the new microphone system, so hopefully that helped out a good deal. Also, sorry if I'm kind of sweaty. It's 100 degrees out here. It's steaming. All right, guys. Tap the like if you liked it. We'll see you next time.